What's up, Steelers Nation? Welcome back to the channel that keeps you up to date on everything black and gold. As always, our mission is to keep you informed, fired up, and ready to talk Steelers football. You know this team is working hard. This offseason, trying to put together a roster that can finally bring home that 7th Lombardi trophy. Every move matters, and today we've got big news about one of the most debated names in recent Steelers history. Before we dive into it, smash that like button to show some love for the channel, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single update, rumor, or breaking news about our Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, let's get into it. The Steelers have re-signed Rudolph to a 2-year, $8 million deal with $4.5 million guaranteed, and this move has a lot of people talking. Now, if you're like me, you probably had a mixed reaction to this one, right? Some of you are excited to have a familiar face back under center, and others are wondering if this is really the guy that's going to help us win now. But no matter what side you're on, one thing is clear. This is a strategic move, and it could be a huge piece of the puzzle for what Pittsburgh is building this year. Let's break it down. For those who might need a refresher, Mason Rudolph was drafted by the Steelers in 2018 and has had his ups and downs with the team. During his time in Pittsburgh, Rudolph threw for 4,615 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions. He's had moments where he looked like a potential starter, but also games where he struggled to find consistency. Fast forward to last season. Rudolph signed with the Tennessee Titans, played in 8 games, and actually put up some solid numbers, 63. 7% completion rate, 1,530 yards, 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So here's the thing. He's battle-tested, and more importantly, he knows this Steelers system, the locker room, and what it means to wear that black and gold. So why bring Rudolph back right now? Well, let's talk about what's happening in the Steelers quarterback room. Justin Fields, who many fans thought could be the future, signed with the New York Jets on a 2-year deal. Russell Wilson, who led Pittsburgh to the playoffs last season, is currently a free agent and in talks with teams like the Browns and Giants. And of course, there's the Aaron Rodgers saga. The future Hall of Famer is taking his sweet time deciding between Pittsburgh, New York, Minnesota, or possibly retirement. So, Steelers Nation, we've got a QB room full of uncertainty. And Rudolph gives the team stability if Rodgers says no or if other options fall through. Let's be real. Rudolph may not be a superstar, but he gives us a reliable option, a guy who knows the playbook, has playoff experience, and won't shy away from the pressure of being under center in Pittsburgh. Now let's get to the elephant in the room. Aaron Rodgers. Everyone is waiting on Rodgers, Steelers front office, fans, the rest of the league. But Rodgers is moving on Rodgers time, which means this could take a week, a month, or maybe not happen at all. Meanwhile, Russell Wilson is also waiting, and reports say he's ready to sign but feels disrespected being treated as a backup option in Pittsburgh's eyes. So what does that mean? The Steelers had to make a move to ensure they're not left empty-handed if Rodgers strings them along too long. Rudolph is that insurance policy. And don't forget, the last time Rudolph was in Pittsburgh, he led us to the playoffs, replacing Mitch Trubisky and even keeping Kenny Pickett on the bench. Some fans were calling for Rudolph to be the starter in 2024. So this isn't just a depth signing. This could be a battle for the starting job if Rodgers doesn't walk through that door. But hold up, Steelers Nation, there's more. According to NFL insiders, if Rodgers says no and Wilson doesn't return, the Steelers may have another AFC North quarterback in mind. Could that be a name like Jacoby Brissett, Tyler Huntley, someone else familiar with AFC North-style football? There's also a strong belief Pittsburgh may go after a rookie QB in the draft, meaning Rudolph could be a bridge starter or valuable backup to help bring that rookie along. The point is, the Steelers are keeping their options open. They're playing chess, not checkers, and Rudolph's return is part of that strategy. Here's something I want to point out. Mason Rudolph has never really had a full, uninterrupted season as the starter. Every time he's stepped in, it's been because of injury or controversy. Now, a new opportunity, a revamped offense featuring DK Metcalf and George Pickens, a WR duo that could be deadly, an improving offensive line. This might be Rudolph's best chance yet to prove he belongs as an NFL starter. And let's not forget, when Rudolph gets hot, he can move the ball, and with weapons like Metcalf and Pickens, he won't have to do it all alone. One of the biggest headlines this offseason was when the Pittsburgh Steelers decided not to pick up Naji Harris's fifth-year option. I know. This was a shock to a lot of fans. Harris gave us 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, showing durability and effort every year. But still, no long-term deal. Instead, Harris took a 1-year contract with the Los Angeles Chargers. And now, the Steelers have officially handed the reins over to Jaylen Warren, who's expected to be the 1A in that running back room. But folks, here's where things get really interesting. Pittsburgh went out and signed Kenneth Gainwell, the former Eagles back. And let me tell you, this signing might tell us more than people realize. Mark Kaboly, from The Pat McAfee Show, made some insightful comments on his podcast recently, and if you haven't heard it yet, you're going to want to listen closely. Kaboly believes that adding Gainwell signals the end of the road for one of Arthur Smith's favorite guys, Cordarrelle Patterson. Yep, you heard that right. Now look, when the Steelers brought in Patterson, many of us thought this guy could be a Swiss Army knife for Arthur Smith's new offense. After all, Smith and Patterson go way back to their days with the Atlanta Falcons, where Patterson made a name for himself as a record-setting kick returner and a versatile offensive threat. But let's be real, Steelers Nation, Patterson never quite lived up to the hype in Pittsburgh. Sure, he had a couple of flashes early on, but after getting banged up and missing time, it became painfully clear that his role in this offense wasn't what we expected. And now, with Gainwell in the fold, it's starting to look like there's no room left for Patterson on this roster. Gainwell is younger, a better fit for third-down situations, and can handle kick return duties, roles we all thought Patterson was brought in to fill. Let me read you exactly what Kaboly said, because I think this gives us a lot of insight. Now, Cordarrelle Patterson's on his way out. Probably not until after the draft, though, because they have to make sure they have somebody in his place. If it's the draft, if it's a guy later in free agency. You don't just cut a guy and say, oh, there's a hole here. You have to make sure you at least have somebody in place. So I would imagine he would be on his way out because where's he going to fit right now? You got your kick returner. You got your punt returner in Calvin Austin. You got your third down back unless they want him as a backup kind of running back. Kaboly hit the nail on the head. The Steelers don't make moves just to make moves. They're always calculating, and right now the math isn't adding up for Patterson. But folks, this isn't just about Patterson. This is about all of Arthur Smith's guys that he brought in when he became our offensive coordinator. Let's not forget, along with Patterson, Scotty Miller, MyCole Pruitt, and Van Jefferson were also added to this team to bring in some familiar faces for Smith. Here's a quick breakdown. Van Jefferson, already gone, picked up by the Tennessee Titans. So that's one Arthur Smith guy off the roster. Scotty Miller. Steelers re-signed him for another year, and honestly, I think that was a smart move. Miller proved to be reliable when called upon, made some clutch catches, and even contributed on special teams. MyCole Pruitt. Now this is another interesting case. Pruitt barely played on special teams, only 15 snaps all year. And while he was on the field for 34% of offensive snaps, he's about to turn 33 years old. And guess what? The Steelers just signed Donald Parham Jr., a younger, more dynamic tight end. You connect the dots. Pruitt's time might be up too. So what does this all mean for the running back room moving forward? Right now, Jaylen Warren is the clear lead guy, but behind him, Gainwell fills that change of pace role. He's quick, he can catch out of the backfield, and he's solid in pass protection. Something we've needed to help protect whoever is under center, whether it's Mason Rudolph, Aaron Rodgers, or someone else. And when you add in Calvin, Austin III as the primary return man, Patterson's role is completely redundant. The Steelers seem to be saying, we're getting younger, faster, and more versatile, and I think a lot of fans are going to love that. So here's where we're at. Mason Rudolph is locked in. Aaron Rodgers is still undecided. Russell Wilson is waiting in the wings but might be getting tired of waiting. A surprise AFC North QB or rookie could still be in play. The Steelers' QB situation is like a game of dominoes, and the first piece to fall might just determine how everything else lines up. All right, Steelers Nation, now it's your turn. What do you think about Mason Rudolph coming back to Pittsburgh? Do you believe he should be the starter? Should we keep waiting on Aaron Rodgers? Or is it time to move on and look for a rookie or another veteran? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear all of your takes on this one because this is one of the biggest storylines of the offseason. And hey, if you love these in-depth updates, do me a favor. Smash that like button. It really helps get these videos out to more Steelers fans like you. Subscribe to the channel for breaking news, rumors, and fan conversations all season long. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're first to know when big news like this breaks. All right, Steelers Nation, until next time, here we go, Steelers, here we go.